So last week I was in San Quentin State Prison, now called San Quentin Rehabilitation Center. And I was there for a ceremony, a Buddhist ceremony. It was a Zen group, and we were celebrating the enlightenment of the Buddha. And I was in there to celebrate with the folks inside. And we did another ceremony. It was a ceremony for one of the Sangha members in prison, and it was a ceremony for him going home. He'd been a member of that Sangha for many years and was a steward of the Sangha. And we celebrated him finally being released from prison, which happened last week. And they called the ceremony returning to the market. And if you're familiar with the Zen ox herding images, you know that the last one, after finding awakening, the last tile, the 10th tile, is to return to the market with open arms. This idea of engaging in the world once one has found awakening. The Bodhisattva path, sharing the message of the Dharma, sharing kindness, generosity, love with the world. And so they called this ceremony returning to the market. And he was honored, and he walked around the ceremony, bowing to each person. And we bowed back, honoring this idea that he had come to prison to find awakening, and that it was now his turn to return to the world. And as many of you know, I used to live in San Quentin. Not a long time, just a few months. I did reception there. But whenever I'm in prison, I, of course, have memories of my own time there. And a memory came up during this ceremony when he was walking around the circle. And the memory was from early on in my second prison term. It was at Folsom State Prison, and I lived in Building 2 on the second tier, the 25th cell, the B side. And we go to breakfast really early in the morning, 4:45, 5 o'clock, something like that. And there was a shift change sometime before breakfast. And before the lights had come on in the cell block, before people were getting woken up to go to chow, I could hear the guards rustling around. You'd hear their keys jingling, maybe them talking a little bit, but usually pretty respectfully quiet. But sometimes they would wake me up and I'd hear that. And I'd be laying there in my cell, in the dark, in the quiet, not really wanting to go back to sleep because I knew there was no sense in doing it. And there was this one guard who worked a couple of days a week, and he would read over the loudspeaker very quietly, very emphatically, very slowly, the names of the people who were going home that day. And if it were me, and this is what I would imagine when I would listen to him read it in the morning, in the quiet, in the dark, it sounded something like this. It would be Han, H-A-H-N, Han, F52995, in B225. Today is your day. And I would feel that in my heart. Like, I would imagine when my day would come. And I imagined that person whose day was today and what it would be like to sit in a cell and know that today is your day. And when this man was walking around this circle, bowing to each of us and us bowing back, I was kind of chanting in my head something from that memory. Today is your day. There's a sutta, a scripture somewhere, and in which the Buddha describes freedom from the hindrances, freedom from greed, freedom from aversion, freedom from restlessness, worry, sloth, torpor, and doubt. Like, describes freedom from hindrances in terms of having been freed from prison. And of course, freedom from hindrances is part of the path of awakening. So I need to remember this more often, because I had my day, and that man had his day last week, but every day is that day. So maybe today is your day.